Welcome to Windsor Spitfires TV. I'm Manny Paiva. It's a fantastic time of year. The baseball playoffs are about to begin, but more importantly, the junior hockey season is upon us. And our guest is the general manager of the Windsor Spitfires, Bill Bowler. Bill, how excited are you for the upcoming season?
Yeah, great time. Longer summer than we'd like. So, it's a brand new season, brand new players, new group, and can't wait to get started.
You've already been busy. You got through training camp. Let's first ask about that. How was the training camp in your mind? What did you like, and what did you get excited about with the promise of camp?
Well, yeah, training camp's a great time. You see all the hard work of what the players have done over the summer. It's a first-hand look at some of the players you just selected against OHL caliber players. So we thought we had a real competitive camp, which led us into our exhibition series. A lot of players fighting for spots were, got a lot of ample time to really showcase their skills, try to grab those spots, kind of let the coaches know where they may fit in the lineup. So overall, training camp, it's a long month, but it's well worth it, and I think it was a real fun and exciting one because, like I said, I think we have some nice prospects.
Yeah, and those prospects are already into the lineup. You started the season not the way you wanted to, I'm sure, with the loss in Sarnia, but the home opener is upon us here, and there's some excitement in the air. How excited are you about this team this season?
Yeah, real excited. That's the beauty of sport. You just never know what you have on paper. Everyone thinks they might have an idea what they are, what they may be, but until the group really gets together and gels and, like I said, people identify kind of where they fit on the team, that allows myself and the coaches to kind of, go from there. And so, yeah, we're real excited. It's kind of a wait and see right now to see exactly who we are. But similar to the previous two seasons, I think we're going to surprise some people.
You've always preached patience, and that sounds like it's the same sort of game plan going forward. You want to see how this team performs in the first month, 6 weeks of the season?
Yeah, again, looking at the age groups and everyone, all the fans watching this knows, what we needed to do the last couple seasons to have some first place division wins here. So we also have to restock our cupboard there too, so we can keep drafting players and keep trying to have competitive teams. So it's a give and take. Got to kind of reshuffle or rearrange the draft a bit and your team a bit. But I've stated a couple times, never unexpect this group or these coaches.
Let's talk about that shuffling of the deck. You mentioned it. You finished first in the West Division, first in the Western Conference for the 2 consecutive seasons, and now you went for it. And now you sort of have to restock the cupboard, and you sort of did that already with the trade by sending Nick DeAngelis to the Sudbury Wolves for a young prospect, a young deep prospect, and a package of picks. Why did you make that move, and why did you make it so early?
Well, again, it's a deal you don't want to do. As we've mentioned, and this, Manny, better than anybody, I've stated it many times. It's the worst part of my job is telling a young man that you drafted, that you brought into the organization, that he's moving elsewhere. So it's always a plan it's a win-win. That's the goal. My job is for the Windsor Spitfires, and then obviously I want to take care of each and individual player. So having said all that, we, as everyone knows, to get the players that we did last year, it takes a lot. And if you don't spend a lot, somebody else in this league is going to. So we needed to recoup some picks. And the reality is you have to give up something to get something. And unfortunately, in this case, it was for Nick. But as I mentioned, Sudbury's a great team on the east that I'm hoping Nick, who had a great camp in Columbus, this will be another boost for him, possibly sign an NHL contract and then have maybe a good playoff run with the Wolves. Tell
us about the young prospect you got back.
Yeah, Connor Walton, just a real big body. Watched him a lot in his draft year. A twin, similar to Christopoulos, played together. And I think for this young man to get away on his own, create his own kind of identity, it'll be good for him. And just sheer size, strength, and the way he defends, this is an OHL player that we think in a couple of years will be an impact player for us.
Got to think a few more general managers will be knocking on your door. You do have 4 overagers right now, so you will be moving one eventually. Is that what fans can expect? What do you tell the fans about the wheeling and dealing?
Yeah, no, fans are like, they're me. I'm a fan too. I like to win every night, and but sometimes you just have to make decisions. So And again, with injuries and suspensions, all the plans you may have can get thrown right out the window, and we've seen that with Alex Christopoulos, the leading goal scorer in the OHL, hasn't shot a puck in 3 months. So these are things that you think might happen, and you're going to move this player or that player, but you can never have enough good players, and you can never have enough depth at each position. So right now, the overage position will play itself out, and as mentioned previously, if it makes sense to move one, maybe you do, but as of right now, we like our group, and decisions will be made in the best interest of the club.
Bill, you said earlier that you think this club will surprise a few teams, surprise a few OHL broadcasters and accredited media who have you ranked pretty low right now. What will be the strength of this hockey club in your mind?
I think we have depth that goes unnoticed, and for whatever reason, and we don't want to talk about the past, but I don't know if our players get enough credit, or coaches for that matter, but looking around, and there's obviously some teams, and again, when we're talking to an educated fan base here, when we did do what we did last year, we were well aware that the Saginaw Spirit were hosting the Memorial Cup, and I'm guessing are going all in, et cetera, et cetera. So we have a lot of good players, and again, regardless if you do add players or don't, it's still just sports and a hockey game, and sometimes all the great plans and what looks good on paper doesn't come to fruition. So it's a wait and see, and we've got a lot of time to figure this out. And I've said it again, I'll say it once more, that nothing surprises me in junior hockey.
Bill, I appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bill Bowler, the general manager of the Windsor Spitfires. Make sure you like and subscribe Windsor Spitfires TV on YouTube to get the latest video, highlights, and all the entertainment from Windsor Spitfires.